They say the bus was found in a reservoir outside Beijing. Submerged, silent. When authorities pulled it from the water, something just wasn't right. The bodies inside were badly decomposed, too decomposed, as if time itself had moved differently inside that vehicle. And some versions of the story claim something even stranger. The fuel tank wasn't filled with gasoline, it was filled with blood. No official record confirms this. No newspaper archive verifies it. But for more than 2 decades, one story has refused to disappear. The Legend of Beijing Bus 375.
I was hooked until you said blood. I was like, okay, blood is a bit... not very believable, is it?
As in, like, it's not too horror. It's more of like a thriller kind of thing.
Okay. Did you get this from Reddit?
Yeah, we got it from Reddit. So all these stories that we have today
Yeah.
are from Reddit and anonymous online sources.
Wait, so 375 is like the name, like the number of the bus?
Correct.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. So I'll move into telling the story now. We're in 1995 in Beijing. Route 375 runs between central Beijing and Shangshan, also known as Fragrant Hills in English. At a dimly lit bus stop, 3 men hopped on the last running bus. So on the bus, there was a driver, a female conductor, a young couple, an elderly woman, and a couple of other commuters.
That's a pretty full bus.
Yeah, but for a late bus in Beijing, I think it's not too uncommon because everyone tries to hop onto the last bus.
Right.
So 2 appear to be supporting... So
there's 3?
There's 2 men.
Okay, yeah.
And they appear to be supporting the third one between them. So they were holding onto the third man in the middle.
Okay, so there's 3 of them.
Yes, there's 3 of them. Yeah. Okay. So witnesses claim that the guy in the middle's head was hanging really low.
Like he was drunk?
Almost like he was drunk, but it was unnaturally low.
Right.
Like it was like almost as if he was dead.
Right, okay.
His face was really pale and he wasn't moving.
So is he dead?
Oh. Well, we don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. Like, he just looks kind of unusual.
It's a bit sus.
Yeah.
There's 3 men come out and he's in the middle is just like unconscious.
Yeah. So they chose to sit in the back. And at the next stop, a young man boards, and then the elderly woman who was already on the bus, she was calm originally, but then she suddenly accuses that young man of stealing her wallet.
Do they know? I'm assuming they don't know each other.
They don't know each other, so they're completely strangers.
Right.
The elderly woman was already on the bus before that. The original 3 men came along.
Right.
And then another young man hopped.
And then she freaks out when she sees him.
Yes.
Right.
So she like accuses that young man of stealing her wallet.
Right.
And then there was a bit of argument between them. And the elderly lady insists that they both get off the bus to resolve the issue.
Okay, this is weird because like back in the day, or not even back in the day, even now, like people kind of mind their own business. Like no one really cares about anyone else. Like everyone's just strangers, right? It's just weird for her to just be like, oh, like you have my wallet.
Yeah, like I think in Beijing, I'm not sure if it's true, but I would assume that it's very similar to like the Japanese culture where you
just mind your own business, right?
Yeah, you mind your own business and like you kind of get frowned upon if you make too much of a ruckus. So,
but I think like older people kind of get away with it more, you know.
Maybe. So yeah, she pretty much forces him off the bus,
right? Okay,
to resolve this issue,
right?
So once they get off the bus, the young man confronted the elderly woman and insisted that he did not take her wallet.
This is like the last bus as well, right?
Yeah, this is the last bus. He's like, what the fuck? Like, why did you just like force me off the bus?
Yeah, how are we gonna get home now?
Yeah, for something that I didn't even do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he thought that was weird, and like she didn't seem like she was like scamming him or like lying or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, she only brought him down.
Right.
But then she, in a very low voice, told him their feet weren't touching the ground.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, like, if I was in that situation, I'd be like,
what the hell? In the middle of the night as well? In the middle of the night?
Yeah.
It's just he's stuck with the old lady as well. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that it to the story or?
No.
Oh, okay. There's more.
So
okay.
there is a little bit more.
Okay.
So after she told him that,
Yeah.
obviously he was pretty shocked. And the bus disappears.
Like into the night kind of thing.
Yeah, like
oh,
just
okay.
completely disappears.
Right.
Obviously it was dark.
Yeah.
But like with a bus, you could probably see like
the lights and stuff. Yeah.
But it disappears.
Okay.
Yeah. Days later, it was allegedly found submerged. And all remaining passengers were dead.
Right. Well, is this like an urban legend, right?
Yeah, it's an urban legend.
So there's no like actual proof or anything that this like kind of happened or anything. Not sure. Not sure,
but like obviously people have been telling the story and that's how urban legends are kind of created.
Yeah. Well, I'm a firm believer that, the urban legends don't come from nowhere, right? They come from something.
Yeah. Like for people like us who we're a little bit, superstitious and we've heard stories here and there and kind of believe it.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. For some context, like both of us come from like obviously we're raised in Australia, but we have a very Asian Chinese background, you would say. Yeah. And especially like obviously in your story, the lady was saying, that the feet weren't touching the ground.
Yeah.
Or like they might not even have feet.
Yeah.
Right. And that obviously in like Chinese culture, like it's a big sign of like the spirits, right? Yeah, right. Okay, like that's what she was trying to highlight, I'm assuming.
Yeah, when you think of like ghosts in Western horror stories, like they don't really describe ghosts without feet,
right?
But I guess in Chinese culture, that's kind of like part of being a spirit. Like you don't have feet, you don't have shadows, you don't walk the earth.
Yeah.
Thing. So yeah.
And speaking like, and they're usually like known to like wear the clothing of the dead, this kind of thing, like what they were last wearing, kind of thing. Yeah.
But like, do you think the guy, the how there was 3 men?
Yeah.
The guy in the middle, do you think he was dead already? Or...
I don't know how relevant they are. Or do you think like they're just like
was it just mentioned because it was like a strange sight?
I feel like it's one of those buses are only, have you heard of like some buses only run for dead people?
Oh, okay.
Like at a certain, they were saying how like a certain time, especially like the last bus, a lot of like the older generation are like, like kind of want to avoid the last bus because the last bus is generally not for living humans. They're usually there for like spirits kind of thing. It's like the last bus is always for like, it's not designed for people alive.
Yeah, so like it's basically to take the dead to like the underworld or whatever.
Something like that. It's a bit like, I don't know if you know, but like Chinese opera. And they say like the first show is for the dead people.
I've actually never heard of that one.
Yeah, like you know what I'm talking about. The real like the I kind of want to say scary, but they're kind of scary. Like the really like pink and white makeup, but then like they're like singing very high pitched voices.
Like I'm sure at that time, people who were watching those shows found it entertaining.
That was the best
like,
thing for them. Yeah,
it was kind of like watching a concert, but then when you from like a modern day's perspective, it was scary.
The makeup is, I think it's the makeup for me, and then there's the high pitched voices they sing in. But they say like especially in like the Cantonese like kind of like just like community. Like whenever they have those shows, I mean, those shows are still like a very big thing. And then when they have those shows, they're like, oh, like the first show, like don't sit in the seats because the first show is always for dead people. It's for the ghosts to watch it because the ghosts are they love watching these kind of things. They love watching shows, like watching movies, like watching performances.
Like when you say sit there, like do you mean to just like not go at all, or do you?
No, but you have you seen what they look like? When like those operas, what the seats look like, right?
Yeah.
They're like those foldable chairs. And
there's
like rows. And there's like rows, right?
Yeah.
They were saying like, don't sit in any of the rows because like the first show is always for them.
Right.
And if you sit there, chances are you could be sitting on one of them.
Okay.
It's a bit scary. It's a thing.
Yeah, like you've offended them.
Yeah. If you've watched, I think people who have watched like, like Chinese horror films know what I'm talking about. Like when you sit on the backs and then like you like invite a whole string of bad luck and they kind of follow you,
like you've offended them, so they're probably just like kind of cling on to you.
It's a real thing. And like I think I was like when I was a kid and like that one of those horror films where that and that literally scarred me for like a long time, and I was like so scared of the Chinese like opera stuff for such a long time.
Yeah, I feel like the reason why we're scared of those things comes from like stories that we've heard.
Oh, child trauma.
Yeah, just child trauma.
It really is. It's like, oh, like if you like don't wash the dishes, that's something bad's gonna happen to you.
Yeah,
like that kind of vibe, you know.
Yeah. Like, I don't think adults realize how much that traumatizes kids.
I mean, nowadays it definitely hasn't, like, nowadays it's obviously not as bad as you were a kid, because like now, obviously now we know a lot more than we did before, but still it was still very scary. So like that's kind of what it reminded me about. It's kind of a bit like that. But yeah, so like coming back to this, it's like the bus could be one of those buses, because sometimes like that bus that came and picked these people up might not actually be 375. It could have just been like a bus for dead people, and they happened to board the wrong bus.
Can I just say, imagine how scared the conductor is.
Yeah, like, but maybe the conductor is like also not alive. He could be a ghost as well. Yeah. Like, you never know. There's so many like people like who report this kind of stuff as like, you know, like a glitch in the matrix kind of thing, you know, and then they like go to a different dimension and stuff, like time skips and stuff. Like that kind of thing.
Or like enters like a different dimension.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that's a whole new fear unlocked for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the elderly woman was just a little bit unlucky. Like, but surely she's heard of urban legends like this. Maybe she just didn't believe it at first, and then she felt something strange.
Maybe she was a ghost as well.
Oh my god!
And maybe she just wanted to help the young man from becoming him. We never know.
But what if there was a twist?
What's the twist?
After the bus disappears, and then he turns back, and
he's the ghost as well. Oh my god! What?
No, as in like, and then the elderly woman's face like becomes pale.
Oh my god! But then why would she need to save him if she's going to do that anyway? Maybe she wanted him for herself. Because you know how they say like ghosts like feed off like the human energy for like life force and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe she like got him off it because like she wanted it all to herself. I love how like we're twisting someone's like, you know, goodwill to completely something like ominous and sinister. But yeah, like that, like talking about that reminds me of like, you know, that hospital scary story.
Which one?
The one where it's like, the guy like tries to escape and he runs to an elevator, and then like, there's a nurse there, and then like she's like telling the nurse like, oh my god, like everyone, like I saw a guy with like the red string around his wrist, and then like in certain countries, I think it might be in China, I can't remember now, but you know when you have a string around your wrist, it means you're dead.
Yeah,
and like they're pushing you to the where they keep the dead, like the
it,
morgue,
it
right?
basically just marks the fact that you're dead.
Yeah. Like, he's like saying this to the nurse in the elevator, and be like, "Oh my god, help me! Like, you know, we need to get out of here. Like, you know, I don't know what I just saw." And then the nurse like lifts her arm up, and she's like, "You mean this string?"
Oh my god.
Yeah, like it's kind of like that. Like so, like that old lady that like when you like old lady face just turns, kind of just reminded me of that.
I can't.
Yeah, can you imagine?
If that happened to me, I don't even know what I would do. Like,
well, this is why I don't work in hospitals, because I feel like those things happen all the time in hospital, like would happen all the time in hospitals if it was to happen, you know. Yeah,
honestly, mad respect for nurses, doctors, who do that all the time. Like, you'd have to have insane courage.
Yeah, like I hear like so many stories. Obviously, I don't know if it's like true or not. Like a lot of these stories, like you read from like Reddit and other online sources. So just a little disclaimer here is like not none of these stories are our personal experiences. They're just stuff we've seen online and stuff.
Yeah.
But this one is like you just see all these like stories where you're like, oh, I'm not sure if it's like, you know, real or not. But then like you just kind of like, what if it is real? So you don't want to like disprove it for no reason.
Yeah.
Like especially like some of the nurses, like they post and they're like, oh, they'd be looking after this obviously terminally ill patient, and then she'd be talking to him and he'd be fine and everything, and then like a few hours later she finds it from a colleague, like a fellow nurse, that what do you mean you spoke to, like let's say Brian for argument's sake, but like obviously I don't know the real name. I was like, oh, what do you mean, like, you know, you just spoke to Brian, he's been dead for like the past like week.
Bro, I cannot.
And then obviously the nurse is like, what do you mean, I just saw him this morning. Yeah, and like like I don't obviously want to be like she's lying. So I always say I like to, even if I don't believe 100%, like you still want to pay respects to certain things. So you don't know if they're real or not, right?
Yeah.
So I'd rather be respectful and not have mine not be killed.
But sometimes, like when you're in certain settings, I feel like your mind kind of just jumps to places. Like you feel like
You mean
like
she hallucinated that? But she didn't even know he was dead though.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I get really scared for no reason in like certain settings. Like,
hey, but I think that's like the fight or flight system though, right?
Yeah.
So like you'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Right? I'd rather be more safe than not safe.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like I'd just rather be at home at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And not be with
Ghost.
a random ghost.
But that just makes you think that how many people you see, because you see so many people every day, right? It makes you wonder like how many people you see, like how many of them are real people and how many of them like they could be spirits, they could be ghosts, like, and only you saw it, no one else. There's like no one else see, you know.
To be honest, I'd rather not know than know, because
that is true.
I would probably either cry or faint if I found out that they were a ghost.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even escape that situation? Do you just run?
But they say like there's some people just say that if you do see them, you're not supposed to act on it. Like let's say if like there's one thing if you don't know if they aren't, right? But then if you know that they are,
harder said than done though.
Yeah, you're meant to play it cool. Like if you smell something, you didn't smell anything. Like if you saw, like if you see like certain things that you noticed, you didn't. And apparently like a lot of times they smell like poop. I know it sounds really stupid, but when you smell foul odors, especially like poop-like smells, apparently it means they're around.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
that means you shut your pants.
Oh, you just farted.
Yeah. No, but it's like, yeah, like apparently you're meant to pretend that they're not there. But it's so hard. Can you imagine being like, if you lived alone, for example, and you know no one's to be there,
and
right?
you suddenly smell poop.
Oh no! I'd rather smell poop. But when you imagine like you're just like getting water or something, and you see some old man or something sitting in your lounge.
Don't say that.
Just imagine that, and you're like, oh, like how the fuck am I supposed to pretend that I don't see this person when I do? You know, right?
Yeah, I'd be like shaking, or
Yeah.
like crying,
and they'd be like, oh,
that's just the normal
you can't see me.
response, okay?
It's just me every day, okay?
Or they like come closer, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, like what do you do?
I'm just gonna go for a walk now.
Yeah, and worse yet, like have like I don't know if you've been through it, but like what if you would go through like like sleep paralysis?
I've never personally been through it.
You haven't?
I haven't.
Oh, lucky you.
But like, I used to study psychology, right? So
Yeah,
it always comes up in classes.
Okay, so you've been taught to like rationalize it, then anything.
Kind
okay,
of. Like,
but you know, in the Chinese culture though, they call it like like. Like, you know, like it's kind of like it just literally means that, you know, like a ghost is like
lying on top of
yeah.
And like
I think that's downplaying it a little bit,
like squishing you.
Yeah, almost like suffocating you, right? Yeah, kind of a bit like that. Yeah, in the Chinese culture, that's what we call it as.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the Western culture, it's like sleep paralysis. It sounds so much like better.
Yeah, I mean, like.
It's still a horrifying experience, though. Yeah.
But like there was a story to kind of like rationalize it.
What you mean? You're too tired or something?
Yeah, and like if you have, I don't know, a lot of stress in your life, or I think it's like genetics too.
Do you believe that though?
Well, yeah, I think from a scientific point of view, it makes sense.
Yeah,
but it doesn't make those kind of stories less scary.
Yeah, but then are they meant to like in like when you were studying it, obviously?
Yeah.
When is it normal for you to see like scary things though? Like when you're obviously sleep paralysis, you can't move, you can move your eyes, right?
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people have obviously reported that they've seen like you know,
like a very specific image.
Yeah, like demons or like a ghost or something very horrifying, but like beside them, something like obviously resembles like the nun from like, you know, the Annabelle series, you know, something like that. Like, is that normal?
I think it is pretty common for people to see ghosts or demons or just like something that's
during a sleep paralysis episode.
Yeah, during a sleep paralysis episode, because if you think about it, right, it's almost like a fight or flight response.
Okay.
Like if you're imagine you can't move, right?
Yeah.
You can't move, but you're awake.
Right.
the thing that would
So
scare
you say
most,
your body enters a fight or flight response.
kind of.
Oh,
like,
okay,
the thing
okay.
that scares you most would
Right.
probably be someone like right in front of you or squishing you.
Right.
It's horrifying, like a ghost.
Right, okay.
And you can't move, you can't escape, and you just have to be stuck there for like who knows how long.
Right.
So yeah, I think it is really common to see
right.
like a ghost.
Oh, okay. Actually, I never thought about it that way. Where like when you obviously realize that you can't move and you're like in a sleep paralysis state.
Yeah.
You actually enter a fight or flight response.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense.
It's more like when you wake up, it's like horrible.
Yeah.
And you're like, was that real or was that? Because
it's almost like a dream, though, right?
It's like a dream, but it still feels
it's so
like reality.
real. Yeah.
Like because like most of the time you are in your own room.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in your.
But then when you like break out of that, do you have like a jolt up sensation, or like you woke up from a dream sensation, or like you actually like, or you just wake up from that state, like you just actually just sit up, kind of thing?
I'm not 100% sure. But I think you kind of fall back asleep and then you wake up and then you're in kind of like a shock because that just happened. You know when you're like when you had a bad dream,
you wake up and you feel really scared for some reason.
Yeah, and like you're not sure if you just had it or it was like kind of in the past and your brain's just doing its
own thing, kind of thing. Yeah.
And like you just wake up from shock.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
But you know a lot of people who go through it though.
Yeah, they go through it multiple times.
Yeah,
not just once in their life.
But they're not. These people aren't like they report it, right? They're not stressed though. They're not stressed. Obviously, they're not sleep deprived.
Yeah,
they've had probably like a very traumatic response recently.
It could also be like genetics
Oh,
though.
what? Genetically prone to what? Really?
Yeah,
oh,
you can experience sleep paralysis based on genetics. I don't know how true that is actually. I probably need to fact check it, but that's what I remember.
Disclaimer: please don't take any of what we say as like scientific knowledge.
It's been a while, but like
don't quote us on this.
Yeah, I specifically remember that one class that talked about sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
I remember bits and pieces because it was interesting.
In no way is this a scientific lecture.
Yes, please do not believe me, but I do believe from memory that it might be genetics. That's
kind of unlucky.
Yeah, you really did not win in the genetics pool.
No, I hope they inherit a lot of other really good genetics if they got that one.
Yeah.
But speaking of like sleep paralysis, this might be a little bit like sidetracking a little bit. But have you heard of locked-in syndrome?
No, what is that?
So like think of sleep paralysis, but worse. So like,
how can it get any worse?
So like this is not so like locked in. Like this is like. Actually is a real thing. I just like it's like literally another new fear unlocked for me. So like apparently like at any given time you could experience this. Like this could happen to anyone. And like it works very similar to sleep paralysis in this, but only in the sense that you're not dreaming. So like you know exactly what's happening around you and you can hear everything and you can see everything, but you just can't move.
Wait, so what so this is when you're awake.
This is you're awake.
So you're just like walking on the street.
Just think that you're like a vegetable. Yeah, no, you can just wake up one day and you'll be locked in. Inverted commas, locked in. And when you're locked in, you can't move a muscle.
Oh.
But you are very aware of what is happening around you.
Right.
You just can't speak. You just can't move. You just can't do anything.
Sucks.
Yeah. And apparently like there are survivors, but then, and this is what they've reported, but then like there are people who just never do that. Apparently there was one where he was obviously locked in, right? And then the doctor and his wife, his kids were all in the hospital, in his hospital room. And the doctor was like, oh, like you're going to make a choice now to the wife about pulling the plug. And he's like, don't pull the plug. Like, don't, like, it was in his head.
Yeah.
Because I'm here.
Yeah.
But then obviously, like, no one wants to hear him. And then, obviously, the wife is like, bawling her eyes out. And the doctor's like, you got to make a choice. Like, obviously, you can't keep this up. Like, because there's obviously no brain activity there. Like, he's gone. But he's like, no, I'm still here.
He can hear everything.
Yeah, he hears everything.
Oh,
yeah. So apparently, it's a very real thing.
That would be horrible.
Yeah. So think of that. Like, I feel like that's like sleep paralysis, like a whole new level of sleep paralysis, but like
You're
worse.
Actually, yeah.
But like so much worse, and that could happen at any given time.
Yeah.
There's no cure for it. There's no reason for it, and there's no like no one knows what the cause is. It just happens.
Yeah, you can't even do anything about it, hey?
Yeah, so I mean, that has nothing to do with urban legends, but just saying, just on a side note.
No, that was very interesting. Thank you for sharing.
Do you know much about like Malaysia urban legends?
I feel like we've had discussions about this before, and I've heard like maybe a few things about it, like that one casino on top of
the mountain. Do you remember much of it?
A little bit. I remember like was it like a couple that was driving?
Yeah, so like it's like obviously they're going to the casino, and I think they were planning to stay the night. There's so many different variations of it, so I'm just going to tell the variation that I know. But yeah, they were like going to the casino and they want to stay there for them because again, like it's a pretty nice like casino and there's a pretty nice hotel around, I think. But like some of the hotels around it, like especially the really close ones, people always like don't stay in the hotels that are literally really really close, like literally like right next to the casino. Yeah. Because apparently they're notorious for being haunted.
They're haunted. Yeah.
So people like maybe if you're gonna like stay around there, you can maybe stay a little bit further away. You'd rather just like stay a little bit further out and then just drive there rather than staying so closely there.
Are there like specific hotels that are notorious for being haunted, or is it just around that area?
Apparently there's like 3. I don't really know the names of them, but then like they're really close proximity. Like they're pretty much like within like walking distance or something. Yeah. Like all I feel like everything, all like hotels that are walking distance between that is probably best to stay away from.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because being so close to it, even if it wasn't before, it'd probably eventually be notorious for being haunted, right?
Yeah.
Because like, do you know the reason why?
I do remember. Okay. So I remember it being like people who gamble a lot become like severely in debt.
Yeah.
So unfortunately they do end up taking their own lives.
Yeah.
And then that kind of becomes like almost like a negative spiritual ground that they live on. Or not, I don't want to be live on, but like
close enough.
Yeah, they stay on.
Inhabit.
So that's what I kind of remember, and then I guess because they're like negative spirits, they kind of haunt you, or like sometimes they stay in those nearby hotels. And they take their own lives there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I guess like once like someone like something like that happens within like a land or something, like it just eventually becomes very haunted, right?
Yeah.
Because like
so much negative energy.
Yeah. So I mean, like I don't think I would even stay there if someone paid me.
No, I honestly wouldn't even visit that casino.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm a gambler in my own way.
Yeah.
I like my claw machines and coin machines.
Yeah, anything that doesn't result in me taking my life, like, really. Because, like, there's so many, like, YouTubers who
they go there.
Not even hotels, they go around the residential area. And it just looks very...
dingy?
I don't know if it's because of of all the stories I've heard that I have this like stereotype. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's haunted. But it just looks very haunted. The lights are like not very lit very well.
Yeah,
like,
when you walk into a haunted place, you know it's haunted.
Like, you know that feeling that you get?
Yeah, like even if it's like well lit and everything, I feel like you just kind of there's a vibe.
Yeah, you feel like someone's like watching you, and then like it's kind of cold.
Yeah, and you like for some reason just like always have something in your mind that there's someone behind you or like next to you. Or
it could just be our mind playing tricks on us, but like still, it's just not a place that you would want to be.
Yeah, and I have heard that those hotels they don't have windows. Which
is really?
Yeah, I have heard that.
What do you mean? They don't have windows?
Yeah.
Oh,
they don't have windows.
So like, if you turn off the lights, it'll be pitch black.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really scary. Yeah. That's really scary.
I can imagine myself.
Like I said, you couldn't pay me to want to stay in those.
I'd rather just travel a little bit further and be a bit more tired and just like sleep at home or obviously if you're in Malaysia then like.
Well, in like even like the hotels like a bit further out, they're quite nice. Like you don't have to stay so close.
Yeah. It's just a little bit longer to travel because like you're literally going down a mountain, right? I guess so it'd probably take more than an hour to get to your hotel in the city or whatever.
It's just such a big contrast because when you like go into the actual shopping center and the casino, it's so luxurious.
Yeah.
And then when you come out and see the hotel, it's like, oh, like after like it's like you can't assume it'd be very nice as well.
Yeah, I guess like maybe that's a tactic.
Yeah, who
Because like
knows?
they want you to stay at the casino for longer, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Then instead of just going home and sleeping.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, gamble responsibly.
Yeah, please do.
But yeah, back to the story. So
Yeah.
basically, they wanted to stay in the hotel and everything, but they gambled so much that they even gambled away their hotel money.
How does that work? Don't you prepay?
Not back in the day, I think.
Oh, okay,
yeah, like this is like a while ago. This is before like Apple Pay was even a thing. You know, like
Yeah.
this is definitely a while ago.
So you stay and you pay.
I guess so. Like, I guess you kind of just, like rock up and then hoping they have like a room for you, and then you pay for the night, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, they gambled so much. I think from the stories that I've gathered, it's mainly the husband that was gambling in a way. So it's like a couple. So it's basically a husband and wife that went there.
And the wife was just there to like just be with him.
I guess. Yeah. And then like he gambled and obviously lost a lot, and then he borrowed money from like loan sharks, right? And then like if you're familiar with loan sharks, they're quite relentless, and they will probably kill you if you don't have the money to repay them, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so they did all of that, and they borrowed a lot of money, and then like they were obviously like, oh, we'll pay it back and whatnot. And then so they were able to leave. So I'm assuming the loan sharks had some collateral, whatever. Yeah. So they were leaving. And then like he like drives down. If anyone's ever driven up to Genting Highlands, it's like a spiral where you keep going around and round and round to go up. It's just like a bunch of round and round before you go all the way up to the mountains, right?
Yeah.
So obviously when he's like circling down, it reaches a point where he's like the car breaks down, like towards going down the hill. And then obviously the guy's like, oh crap, like what are we supposed to do now? And then the wife's like, like panicking and stuff. And then he's like, okay, you stay in the car. I'm gonna go and see if I can find anyone to help us, kind of thing. So then he goes for a long time. And then the wife is like, okay, cool, like, I'm just gonna wait here, right? And eventually gets to a point where she kind of takes a nap and she falls asleep.
Yeah.
Because it's been that long. And it's like, I'm assuming it's quite late in the night at the time. And then she, as like in the when she's falling in and out of consciousness, she realizes a really weird phenomenon that kind of happens. So basically what happens is like when the cars are also coming down, they come down and then they kind of like whenever they see her car, they speed up and then they move. It's like they come down at normal, because like when you're going up the spiral, you kind of want to like go at like not a very
steady pace.
Because otherwise it's quite dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to move so fast down, right? Because it's because
there's a lot of turns.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still the same now, but back then there wasn't much like signage or even like any fences like down. So if you there was nothing that was going to break your fall. If you like did a bad turn, you're gone, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but whenever cars like will come down, whenever they see it about to approach her car, they speed up and then they like kind of zoom off, kind of thing. So she's like, "What's going on?" Right? But she doesn't think too much of it because she's just like, "Okay, whatever. That's weird, right?" Yeah. But then what happens next is that sirens start going off, and then like
as in like police.
Police, yeah. And then police cars start like like surrounding her car, and then she's like, "Okay, what the F is going on now? Something's definitely not right." And then the police officer comes down and then it pulls out a gun and is like, "Ma'am, I need you to step out of your car."
And then she's like, "What have I done?"
Yeah, she's like, "What's going on? Like, I just borrowed money from loan sharks. I didn't kill anyone." And then she's like, okay, like she like steps out of the car, but then the police officer says something really weird that like obviously freaks her out. Is that they point the gun at her and they're like, "Ma'am, I need you to come towards us slowly, but do not turn around."
It's like, okay, I can come to you slowly, but why can't I turn around?
Yeah. So obviously she's like, what the hell? Like imagine if you were her, like even if you wanted to, even if you're curious, you'd be too scared to, because you're like, what the hell is behind me, right?
Yeah.
So
but at this point, was she like, okay, did I do something wrong? Or was it like,
okay,
like strangely odd that like...
At this point, she's like, what kind of crime have I committed?
Yeah.
And then, so she walks towards them. And she gets in the car, and then as they drive off, and the police get back in the car, and a little bit like frazzled as well, and then they drive off, right? And as they drive off, she takes a glimpse. On the car, on top of the car, there's this like weird beast like but also humanoid like creature with long hair and like greenish face. And then in her arms were her husband's head. And this creature thing was just going at it, just eating and just feasting on her husband's head.
Oh,
How?
Bruh. You know what? Not even if I was in that situation,
just take me.
I'd just be like,
I can't do this.
Now.
Yeah, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely terrified.
Yeah. So apparently, like, this is like a really well-known like urban legend creature kind of thing. It's a bit like
so she wasn't like a ghost.
I don't know. I think she might be some kind of like folklore demon kind of thing.
Like I think at that point I would have just assumed that she was like some kind of like cannibal.
Yeah. I don't know what's worse, to be honest. I think a cannibal would be just as scary.
Yeah.
If not more scary.
Yeah.
Because at least, like, if you say it's a demon, right?
Oh
you
my
can
God.
just
Your dog.
Don't say that. It's a possum. We just saw a possum. If you say it's like a demon, right? It's like, okay, maybe it's just like, you know, it's urban legend, right? Like, you know, it's probably fake. Yeah. But if it's a cannibal, it's very real.
Yeah.
You know, it's a real person, you know?
But then, like, if it was a demon, you don't know what they could do next, you know? At least if it's a human, they could only do what humans can do. Like, they can only do so much. But if it's a demon, like, they could jump at you. They could, like, suddenly teleport. I don't know, like, some, like, weird-ass shit.
That's,
yeah. So I feel like demons would probably be a little bit worse, but that doesn't make...
I don't even know, like at least, like, I feel like if it's an urban legend, I can convince myself and be like, oh, nah, these are just, like, you know, stories people tell each other, just, like, you know, scare people. But then, like, if it's a cannibal, it's like, oh, this is a real person that's really out there. And it's, like, the worst fear, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I honestly would not know what I would do in that situation. I would just contemplate life and just be like, okay, well, that was traumatizing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, all in all, I feel like these places have one thing in common, is that they're very, like, if this was in Chinese, it'd be like, you know, the yin and yang?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like a lot of, like, yin energy. So it'd be like very, like, dark energy, you know?
Yeah, I guess, like, you know, gambling and all that. There's a lot of negative energy in that space.
Yeah.
So, like, that yin energy comes from.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the worst thing is, like, I feel like the fear doesn't come from, like, monsters. I think the fear comes from, like, not knowing who's, like, actually beside you.
Yeah.
You know?
The fear of unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so scary.
But I think that's enough scary for one day, don't we think?
I think so too. If I hear any more scary stories, I don't think I could sleep tonight.
Yeah. But, like, you know, we say that, but we're still really into it.
We are. We keep going back to it. Like,
yeah.
We'd be like, you know, I couldn't sleep last night.
But, like, you know what I heard also? But yeah, I mean, that's enough scary for this week, I guess. Yes. But we'll have something new and more exciting again for our next episode, won't we, Oksana?
Yes, we will. I'm very excited.
Yes. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you for joining the first episode of our podcast, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, as always, thanks for listening. And also a disclaimer, we're not psychologists. And also none of these stories are our personal experiences. It's stuff that we just kind of saw online and ran with it. Yeah, take everything with a grain of salt, please. Anyways, take care and see you next time. See ya!